If your name's Jessica and you live in northern Colorado, I need you to check your voicemail right away because I have your checkbook. My wife thinks we're having an affair and I don't know how to fix this.
Lights, camera, action.
UPS, you piece of
I was like, you know what I want to do one day? I want to join a gang.
We're in 2022, upgrade the cameras.
Yeah.
We can see Saturn and shit, but like I can't get a clear picture of someone robbing the gas station.
That was the greatest night in the history of television.
When's your show again?
This a next show.
Yeah, the next show that you have.
It would be on Friday, not this upcoming Friday, but the Friday after.
Oh,
That would be Friday the 14th.
that's perfect. Because I was thinking like we never plug you.
We never plug me.
Like any podcast I listen to where there's comedians on it, they're always like, I got 6 shows in Cleveland coming up, and they're always doing that. And I'm like, why don't we ever do that with you? So you have one the 14th. So when this comes out, that'll be good.
That'll be perfect.
That's people in the area on the 14th can go see you where?
I should give details. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just say though, this is funny because I don't even plug myself.
Yeah.
Like I did a comedy show recently, and the guy who runs the show, he brings up all the comedians at the end of the show and gives them a chance to like plug themselves and what they're doing. And I didn't know. And I had no clue that was what the purpose was. I thought we were going to take a bow.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a curtain call.
Like it felt like that though. He was like, come on, everyone, get back up here. And I was first, of course, to go. And my biggest nightmare was what I thought it was like, tell one more joke.
Oh,
which is like, I was like, ugh, that is just awful. Like, I don't want to do that.
It's like icebreakers in school.
Right.
I hate those.
I was like, I told all my jokes. Like, I don't have one more. And so I got the microphone. He gave me the microphone, and I was just like, what do I do? And he's just like, tell the people what you're up to. And I was like, oh yeah, Redband podcast. So I don't do it both ways. I don't plug myself on here, and when I'm out there, I forget to plug this.
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah. It's just, but hey, we're a real non-attachment podcast here. You know what's gonna happen will happen.
Exactly.
That's how we rock. But I also let's plug this, and I actually do have a story about the comedy show I almost did this last week.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this show, I have a show April the 14th. That's a Friday. It is at 7:30. The doors open at 7. It is at 7:30. And this is at 377 Brewery.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it at all. Like, where is this place?
I don't know. Is it here? Is it even here?
Well, I should probably figure out. No, okay. It's 2027 Yale Boulevard Southeast.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know where this fucking place is, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's off of Yale and Gibson. Yeah, I think it's by the Little Caesars. I've been to the Little Caesars. I haven't been to the brewery.
If that doesn't just describe every comedy club in Albuquerque, it's the one by the rundown building next to the restaurant that's, hardly open.
And the old IHOP. That's
in the old IHOP. Yeah.
I really think there was an IHOP around there.
Yeah, no, I mean, and a lot of them shut down, right? All of them shut down.
So many of them. I think Manal is still open. Manal in Pennsylvania?
No. I don't think so. I think that one's closed too.
There's one. I swear I saw one just the other fucking day. Where the fuck was I? Was I on the west side or was I?
It's probably on the other side of Little Caesars.
Probably on. It's by the new Little Caesars.
Yeah.
No. That's our developments as well.
Yeah.
It's like Cane's, Little Caesars, old IHOP.
Yeah.
The one IHOP that didn't die.
Yeah.
That's the plug.
Okay.
I've plugged the show.
Yes.
I did it.
You did it.
That went well.
April 14th, Friday, you can catch him in the rundown IHOP. Just kidding. What is that actual place called? I already forgot.
Well, Radio Row?
Where you're doing the show?
377 Brewery.
377 Brewery. You
I
can
believe
catch.
off Yale and Gibson. I'm 90% sure that's the place.
Yeah.
I know it. I've seen it with my own
2 eyes.
2.
Yeah.
And it's by the Little Caesars for sure. That's how I know.
So you can grab dinner at Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Get a beer at the place. Watch some comedy.
Watch some comedy.
Our host right here, Elijah, do some comedy. Because I was thinking about going to that because I haven't been able to go to many of your shows
been a
recently.
while.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the plug.
I need to start. I need to not procrastinate. I get 20 minutes.
Ooh.
Things have changed. I mean, before the pandemic, I would do 30 minutes.
Damn.
Now, 20 minutes is like, oof. But I think before the pandemic, I did a lot of, I don't even know who I was back then.
Yeah.
Still, I'm a different human. I probably didn't do a solid 30 minutes, but I was given the ability to do 30 minutes and I could fill that time. But I'm at the point now where my shit is going to be much more meaningful, but there's probably a lot less of it. I'm not just throwing out any old jokes these days, or talking about anything. I have a small amount of very meaningful jokes and topics to speak on, and some old jokes that, are just my staple jokes. And so, but I have to stretch that out into 20 minutes, which I can do. As you know, I've done a joke for a while about the Walmart on San Mateo and Central.
Yeah.
And that is closing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, finally. Talk about the safety of others. That's just a biohazard, that Walmart.
Yeah, OSHA violation.
Yeah.
As they say. Yeah. It's finally closing, and so I do have some stuff to add on to that bit.
Yeah.
Because that place meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, just to say kind of how I say it in the joke, it's kind of like, I didn't start writing jokes about that Walmart because I wasn't parked in my car outside of the Walmart. Let me observe this for my comedic artistic, comedy. No, I used to be the trash in the Walmart. I was part of the problem.
You were the environment.
Yeah, I was not Waldo in that environment. I was everything else that blended together.
Yeah.
So I do a joke now. I haven't even written it. I just kind of go off the top of my head, but I do a joke about the time I remember buying drugs inside that Walmart.
Yeah.
There's one specific time I remember because for a specific reason, but I won't spoil that.
Yeah, I want to hear it live.
So there you have it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Remember a while back when I told you about that joke or bit, whatever it is, about the ridiculousness of, or at what age do we stop saying oh, so and so would have been this old after they died? So for Walt Disney's birthday recently, Bob Iger, the new former and new CEO, took over for Bob Chapek. Bob Iger made a post, and he said, oh, Walt would have been 114 today or something like that. And I'm like, no, he wouldn't have.
What?
No, he wouldn't have been. It was something like that, over 100 years.
But he actually took the time to emphasize that?
He said Walt would have.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. It was from December 5th, 2020. That's why. Right here, look. Walt Disney would have turned 121 years old today.
What?
How lucky are we for the life he lived and the legacy he left? Happy birthday, Walt.
See, that's absurd.
And that's exactly the meat of the joke that I was saying is what point does it get ridiculous?
Right.
Oh, man, Walt would have been 121 today. Really? He would have?
Jesus Christ, the Nazarene would have been...
Yeah.
Fucking 10,000 years old today. Yeah. Every Christmas they should do that.
We should, yeah. Oh man, if Jesus was still around, you know how old he'd be? 10,041.
If he didn't sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
And he could live. He could be alive, but he decided not to be. Yeah. Because after 3 days, he ascended to heaven.
Yeah.
But if he didn't, he would be 25,000 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's correct.
I wanted to see if you heard about this story that's circulating recently about this guy who's accused of being in an affair due to very weird circumstances.
Okay.
So what happened was this man's wife discovered a checkbook in the center console of his car.
Okay.
The checkbook did not belong to them. It belonged to some woman
Okay.
named Jessica. And so naturally it's like, well, how did this get in here? Who's this? And of course the guy's like, I don't know. I've never seen that before. And so the thing that, and it continues to look worse and worse on him because one, it's some woman's checkbook.
Yeah.
It's in the center console of his car. It belongs to, so he's a teacher, but he teaches in a town that's different from where he lives. But this woman's checkbook belongs to the same town where he teaches. So it's not looking good.
It's looking real bad.
Yeah. So all these things are like,
Okay.
So, so he's truly baffled.
Yeah.
He will swears up and down it's not an affair. And he put out some TikToks.
No.
Yeah, he put out some TikToks. He was trying to reach out to this Jessica lady and get a hold of her, and he left her a voicemail. And to try and clear the air because he's like, I promise, and this looks really bad on me.
Right.
So I'm gonna play. He has 3 of them.
They got this man fighting for his life on the internet.
He's fighting for his life.
This is absurd. And that's either shows that he's innocent or he's like so guilty.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see what you think. I want to know if you believe him or not. All right. Here's his first one. The call for help.
Okay.
If your name's Jessica and you live in northern Colorado, I need you to check your voicemail right away because I have your checkbook. My wife thinks we're having an affair and I don't know how to fix this. Yesterday, my wife and I are taking our kids to the post office so that we can get them passports. We're going on a cruise. It's a nice family day. But we realized when we get there that we forgot the checkbook. So I tell my wife, hey, check the center console. Maybe there's one in there. I don't know. I've never even looked in there, frankly. So she goes into the center console, and guess what she finds? A checkbook. But guess whose checkbook it is? Not mine, and not hers. It's yours, Jessica. I have absolutely no idea how I ended up with your checkbook in a console full of my stuff. But it's definitely yours. And the last check that you wrote was in September of 2022, which means at some point in the last 6 months, your stuff got into my car. My wife and I are both confused, so we Google you, and we find out that you work in the same town I teach in, which is not the same town I live in. Do you see how bad this is looking for me? Not only that, but if you're the same person that I Googled and found, you're also my age. This is all terrible. I need you to just check your voicemail so we can figure out where we somehow crossed paths, or not even we, you and my car, so that I can clear all of this up, because I can tell you right now, it hasn't been pretty at the Rupp household. To be clear, my wife and I love each other. She's only like 25% convinced that I'm cheating on her, which is, way more than I need it to be. So Jessica, check your voicemail. Call me back. I gotta figure out how I got this checkbook. I'll give it back to you. I don't care. I just need to know. I need this to go away. If your name's Jessica.
So that's part 1.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think so far?
Initial reaction, just like based on him in general, just like based on his essence, is that he's not cheating.
Yeah.
But I think he's exaggerating on the amount of toxicity that may be going on in the home. And or he's like a narcissistic attention whore.
Right.
And even though he's not cheating, he's like, this will get me some like attention and likes.
Yeah.
It's an odd thing. This is either like he's either insane or he's just unfortunately a product of his environment that he would even do this, like unsolicited, like make a TikTok video to try and find this random person.
Yeah.
It's so vague and so like how like TikTok, it's not like you're like go to a Facebook group of like the small town that you guys work in.
Yeah.
And go, hey, does anyone know like Jessica, whatever the fuck? Like, and don't make like a video on a platform that's like a national global, like, I just don't get the logic behind that.
Yeah. I don't know. This was maybe my second or third time watching that video over, and I just caught on that like she said, "Oh, where's the checkbook?" And he's like, "I don't know. I've never looked in the center console, but maybe check in there. There might be one in there."
Huh.
There's like a weird thing.
That's
I feel
weird.
like to say.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't like there could be one in there. I don't know. I don't even look. I never even look in there.
Right. That's odd.
Yeah.
There's a few things happening there, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like, first of all, is this fake?
Yeah.
Second of all, is he gaslighting her? Is he like, let me put a fucking checkbook of a woman in here
Yeah.
and like, let me just fuck with my wife's head? Do you think he's just fucking with his wife's head?
Damn. See, now that's a theory that I don't think I've seen in the comments yet.
Right.
That's crazy, you know, and what would motivate someone to do that? It's almost like, it reminds me of this episode of The King of Queens. Crazy reference, because I've never heard anybody talk about that show.
King of Queens reference is crazy, but I love it.
Yeah. So I don't even know if anyone knows what that show is. It's a show with Kevin James.
Dude, Kevin James and Melissa McCarthy.
No.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was. No. Melissa McCarthy also did a show probably pretty similar to The King of Queens about overweight, middle-aged white people.
Mike and Molly. You're thinking of Mike and Molly.
Overweight, middle-aged white people in middle America. It's the same concept.
Right. Okay. So yeah, no. This shows Kevin James and Leah Remini.
The fucking Scientology chick.
Yes. She got out of Scientology or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, typical like sitcom couple, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful wife, overweight husband.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Classic.
Yeah.
Hilarious. If you haven't brushed up on your American sitcom fucking history, that's fucking hilarious. It's a fucking amazing concept. It never gets old.
I guess not, because they've been doing it for like 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's an episode on there where his wife doesn't really like buy into the idea that any woman would really hit on him. Like she doesn't see that as a danger.
Right.
So anyway, he spends the episode like trying to make it seem like he's being hit on, like someone might be. So there's like a new intern at his office, I think. And so he tries to make it seem like she's calling him in the middle of the night. And, you know, he just like the poor intern lady or whatever she was, is getting yanked around. She's like, "But you told me to call you at 2 a.m. And he's like, no, don't call me here. Don't call me here. I'm sleeping. My wife's next to me." So he's like trying to make it seem that way. That was a long tangent just to basically say something similar could have been going on here.
There could be.
Like his wife was like, I'm not worried about you cheating on me. Like, I don't see that ever happening. So he's like, "Oh yeah, fuck it, watch this."
His wife is like, "Do you see how much you're on TikTok? You think any woman wants to fuck a guy who's on TikTok this much?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Let me show you.
I'll show you. I'll take one of the most outdated forms of payment, and I'm going to stash that in the glove box."
Okay, there you go again. And you just brought up a good point. Checkbook at all.
Yeah.
The use of checkbook in any way, shape, or form in our modern society is automatically just really weird.
It's not to say that it's obsolete.
It's not obsolete.
The check definitely has a time and place. It's just not as frequently used as it once was.
Right.
People used to write checks in the grocery store.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this guy claims, I think we'll see it in the next video.
I'm ready.
What he uses a checkbook for.
Okay.
And stuff. But I thought the checkbook was a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
In itself. So yeah, so the table's set.
The tables are set. What did you, because you've seen all the videos.
Yeah.
But after you watched the first video, what was your initial vibe?
I don't know how a checkbook could end up there.
Right.
That's such a intimate, specific spot in the car.
Yes.
You know, it's not like the floor of the car, right, or even the seat of the car, the dashboard of the car.
Right.
It's in the center console. Like that's something that's put there with intention.
Yes.
And for a guy that claims that he never goes in there, I don't know what's in there, and I never look in there.
Right.
He's not going in there. So yeah.
So what is it?
What is it? How does it get there? How is it an affair, a glitch in the matrix?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's watch the second video.
So
he puts out this video and goes to make contact with this lady, and she responds.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he responds to that video. So anyway, here's his next one.
My name's Jessica. I live in northern Colorado. I never answer my phone. I never listen.
Hey, we found Jessica. After texting back and forth all morning, the best we can come up with is that our kids go to school together. She maybe parks where I park because I teach next door. It's the best we got. And while half of the 15,000 comments and growing on this post are convinced that I am like the world's greatest infidelity mastermind, sorry to disappoint you guys. So this afternoon, I'm going to meet up with Jessica, take the whole family over. She has goats, and they had babies, and so we're going to play with them. She's getting her checkbook back. Thanks, TikTok.
My name's Jessica.
Okay. So that's that.
Right.
I don't know. That to me is also weird. Like if you were his wife,
Yeah.
and you thought that your husband was cheating, and you might not be 100% convinced, but what other logical explanation is there that her checkbook ends up in your center console?
Right.
I don't know that I'd be like, yeah, let's take the family and go play with her goats and give her checkbook back.
Yeah. This could all be a ploy for him to try and start a polyamorous relationship. He's like, Jessica is super like hippie. She's down as fuck. Like all I need to do is convince my wife.
I don't know how we're going to get her to meet. And the kids, like I love the kids so much. Like how could we? And she's like, don't worry about the kids. I have goats. They're going to love the goats.
Right.
From there, we'll work on your wife.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just like Midsummer. They're like, we'll dose her with mushrooms. Yeah. She'll like trip balls. She'll face her deepest fears. She'll come out the other side like convinced that this is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a horror story.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. In the making. Then this is part 3. He wraps it all up here.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so it seems like a lot of people haven't seen the updates before they comment on this one, so let me just go ahead and summarize it as quickly as I can. We got a hold of Jessica. Before we get into it, let's answer some frequently asked questions. Number 1, how'd you get her phone number? That seems pretty suspicious. Jessica has a pretty uncommon last name. So once we Googled her, then we found the city where she works. We recognized this was probably her. It was all in all, I don't know, like a 1-minute process. It was pretty easy. There was also an unexpected amount of you that thought like checks are suspicious as, I don't know, forms of payment. I use a check every week to pay for bowling. I used to use them for childcare. As I dug through her checkbook so I could try to figure out who this person was, a bunch of hers were for childcare too. So I don't really know what to tell you about that. The only thing I can answer is how I got a hold of this checkbook, okay? It was definitely in my car. It was definitely in the console, which, by the way, when I say I never look in the console, I mean I took the stuff out of my old car, threw it in the new one, and I don't think I've really dug into it since. That's all. Oh, and another thing about the checks. People are like, the address was on there. Why didn't you just drive over? Because we Googled that address, and her name wasn't affiliated with it anymore. Turns out she had moved a while ago, so that was a good call. So yesterday, my family went over to her family's house so I could drop off her checkbook. We got to play with her goats and look at her incredible farm. This lady, follow her, because the llama palooza thing sounds outstanding. So at the end of it, here's what I got. The best we can figure, her kids go to school with my kids. I teach at the high school next door. We park next to the same spot. I don't know. Sometimes I warm my car up, leave it on. Maybe somebody found her checkbook that had fallen out of her car, threw it in mine. I don't know. Everything's more unlikely the more I think about it. So I'm just done thinking about it. So that concludes that. Buckle up for more generic teacher and basic dad content because that's really more my wheelhouse anyway. Thanks.
Yeah. And he's right. The more sense you try to make of it, the less it makes sense.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because then you just got to start getting into like they put this together to get more followers. Like you kind of got to go there too.
You got a little Chris Rock, Will Smith situation happening.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in an experience where something teleported from my girlfriend's purse to the ground next to me. So
yeah.
I'm not opposed to going there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a high school teacher dad in northern Colorado, and maybe Jessica would believe that herself. Maybe Jessica was messing with some black magic. You know? Could be. She's got goats.
Yep.
She's got goats. She could have done something.
Oh, true.
She could have whippersnappered something.
I've seen The Witch.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
The next thing that I would think that if I were them, I'd try to look into is there a third party, a common third party,
Right,
that has something against either of them or both of them, that is like, fuck the both of you, steals Jessica's checkbook, plants it in his car, and just waits.
Right.
That would be my next thing.
Where I would go with that, I'd be like, what about like their kids? Like, or without them knowing, like, are both of their kids ganging up to like bully some other kid? You know what I mean? Giving them swirlies and, doxing them on social media and telling them to self-harm and stuff. You know what kids do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, telling them to hurt themselves and like unalive themselves. And maybe that parent was like, hey, fuck both of these kids, but I can't punch these kids in the face, so I'm going to make it look like their parents are cheating on each other.
Yeah.
Anyone thought of that?
Oh, well, we're actually completely overlooking. He's a teacher. Ooh. He's bound to have pissed off some kind of a kid.
Right.
Somewhere.
Right.
And what if they're like, you know what? I'm going to ruin his marriage. And then they somehow have a connection to this person. Maybe her kid, or no, he teaches at a high school, I think is what he said.
Yeah.
And her kids go to the elementary school next.
With his kids.
So, I mean, I don't know. There's some kind of common thread there. Like, somebody somewhere had this motive, like, or maybe their kids were like, let's play a funny prank.
Right.
But I don't know. Why would an elementary school kid think of that as a funny prank?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. And like, no, like someone like super calculated could be doing this, whether that's like a high school kid who should be like locked up in a facility or, something to that nature, or a child who is like, he just like doesn't feel feelings and he's just like, I'm going to toil with people's lives just to do it, just to see what happens. Any one of those things could be going on and no one could know, and it's honestly, they should maybe just not let it go.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to be a little more, a little more mindful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to see real quick what the blow up was. So this guy, I mean, nothing crazy. That video, okay, that one's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah.
The initial one, where he's trying to get a hold of Jessica and telling the story, has 4.3 million views.
That's crazy.
4.3 million views, 493,000 likes.
Yeah.
The next video, 726,000 views.
Damn.
With 63,000 likes. And the final one, 339,000 views, 19,000 likes. And all in all, he has 32.9 thousand followers.
Wow.
So the come up wasn't huge.
Sure.
I mean, we're not talking millions of followers now.
Right.
But so maybe it could have been like let's try this. Let's see, let's get some. I'll get a little boost. You'll get a little boost.
Right.
Could start making some money. Maybe that was the plan. Maybe it was like, hey, this teacher income just ain't doing it. Man. We need to hop on that TikTok money.
Right.
How are we going to blow up and go viral? I've got an idea.
And rightfully so. This is America. Our teachers are not paid well.
They're not.
One of our greatest television show is about an underpaid teacher who cooks meth to make money. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, all teachers honestly should be influencers as a side hustle.
Yeah. Coming up with elaborate infidelity schemes.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should talk about like the scenario in which he did do it though.
Yeah.
What does that look? I mean, it's a little more cut and dry.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder like, okay, what, like maybe the wife was on to him a little bit on about something. So he was like, we gotta drop some sort of bomb.
Yeah.
To get her off our trail.
Yeah.
Like he's like, okay, she's gonna figure us out in the next week. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like purposefully plant something for her to find. get ahead of it.
Yeah.
And then like we'll work from there instead of like, when she's out at like Whole Foods, like we're fucking each other's brains out, and she's definitely going to come home with a chantilly cake and find us doing upside down 69s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. Something like that.
But you're right. I keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
The planting. Because it's just so weird. I don't know. I can't shake that. Maybe I'm over obsessing on that little detail. But the detail of him saying, I don't know where the checkbook is. Maybe check in there. I'm painting it that way because that's how it feels to me.
It
feels like in a movie when they want someone to do something and they're really bad about being slick about it. So they're like, well, I don't know. Maybe check in that drawer. Could totally be in that drawer. I don't even know what's in that drawer. I don't know. It might. Maybe.
Right.
That's just how I picture him doing it in my head. Which is a weird detail that I can't shake for that storyline anyway. That like if he was trying to get her to find that checkbook,
right, that
one detail seems to confirm it for me.
And that's how he said it, right?
Yeah, I think
that's like how he said it.
Pretty. I mean, not as mumbly as I'm making it, but yeah, that's what in the first video he was like, well, maybe it's in the center console. I don't know. I've never even looked in there.
He's either like, because why? Two things. I imagine if you were trying to hide something, you would not just be like, hey, like wife, willy-nilly look through my things. Like you'd probably be like, no, don't worry, I'll look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like don't worry, I'll look,
Yeah.
I don't want to speak like I know too much about this because then my girlfand's going to start thinking.
She starts going through your glove compartment.
You start going through my glove compartment. I'm just kidding. But either that or he's just like being like a dismissive man. And she's like, hey, honey, why don't you fucking tell me where the thing is? And he's just like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, like, why would you think about it? Oh gosh.
No.
My fucking headphones. If you were in such a situation.
Yeah.
I just don't imagine that either of us would start we would even talk like that, or we wouldn't even be like, why don't you check like I never look in there. Why don't you check in there? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. Why?
I don't get that.
And then I start thinking about back to what you were saying about let's go with the storyline that they actually are having an affair.
Right.
And this is an elaborate cover up. What's the situation where she's leaving a checkbook of all things in your car?
Right.
In the center console.
Right.
What did she pay for pizza with a check? Did you guys go to the movies and she paid for the movies with a check?
She checked it.
I don't get like an earring on the floor.
Sure.
Now we're thinking something.
Yeah.
A little bracelet, something like that, right? The car, does it smell like perfume?
Right.
But the checkbook in the center console, I'm just wondering, even if they were having an affair, what series of events led to that being in there?
Are they buying a house together? Are they like far beyond?
Yeah.
And they were like, are they going in like they're opening another farm?
Yeah.
They could be like planning some sort of like, they're like way ahead of the game. Like they could have been, if she didn't find the checkbook.
Yeah.
Like one day more, he's gone forever.
Yep.
That could be for they could be, I don't know, a private jet.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what her life really is? She's got a farm. She could be in the agriculture game. She could be banking.
One day more, and he's telling his family, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some milk.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
He was probably like he was going to fake his own death.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like they had that whole thing like played out already. He was going to fake his own death.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to go to like, they were going to get a farm, little cottage home and a farm in like in Ireland or something.
Something, yeah.
Finland?
Mm-hmm. Some kind of land.
Some land.
Iceland.
The thing about him though, he just doesn't okay. This would have convinced me. And it's like he said, I think the other thing is like once he was like, we're like the same age, and she just turned out to be like this farmer lady with a goat. It's just like, nah. But like if it was like, if Jessica was like 26 and like had an OnlyFans, then maybe I'd have been like, nah, dude, like you done fucked up. But like, he's like the most boring motherfucker in the world, which that's why the only way, like if Jessica was like 26 on OnlyFans, then I'd be like, nah, like he's just so bored with his normal fucking day-to-day life that he did solicitate sex from Jessica.
But once again,
checkbook.
26-year-old with an OnlyFans probably not having a checkbook.
Right.
Right?
Right. No, you're 100% right. Unless she's old-fashioned.
She's an old soul.
She's an old soul.
The question he didn't answer that I really want answered is the cars thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because that was a thought that was up in the air, was like, well, maybe you're accidentally got into the wrong car. Right. But I'm really curious what kind of car. Did they compare? Did they look at their cars? Do they have the exact same car? Because if they're complete opposites, that's off the table. Right. You don't accidentally get in his car thinking it's yours if it's not even close.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I need answers on that front.
There's no way, because, and he really brushed past that, didn't he?
He did.
Almost like he didn't want us to think too much about that, too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, sometimes I warm my car up. I don't know. Something could have. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes I warm my car up and she could have gotten in there and put her, like
at the school?
Yeah. And we could have parked next to each other. But I'm just, I don't know. I would have, if I was him, I would have asked her, like, is that something you do when you get in your car? Do you put the checkbook in the center console?
Right.
Because then if she says something like, no, it's always in my purse. Or she goes, yeah, that's exactly where I always keep mine. Right. There's one thing. If that's what she always does with her checkbook, great. Now, if your cars look the same, it's a little bit more believable.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't do that and your cars are completely different, now I'm still stumped as to how it got in there.
That's just so, and I hope his wife was diligent with these questions, but there's a part of me that feels like this whole thing could have been a ruse to get her to not ask those types of questions. Like the whole thing was just, look, come play with the goats. Mm-hmm. It's no big deal. Let's just all laugh about this. Yeah. When the whole time the wife should have been this, show me what the fuck you do when you get in your car with your checkbook, bitch.
Exactly.
Right.
And I feel like that's how somebody would be.
Right.
In a very real situation. I feel like a significant other who thinks that's their other significant other's cheating would be like, no, what the fuck? Llama Palooza? No, show me what you fucking do with that checkbook.
Yes.
I would be like, let me see that checkbook. What's the last check you wrote? He says it's from September of 2022. I want to see what it was.
Well, show me.
Show me.
Let me look at your books.
Because here's the other thing. If she hasn't written a check since September 2022, and they are having an affair, one can only assume that was maybe the last time she had her checkbook with him when they hooked up, or that was the last time they hooked up. Right. Because if they were still hooking up and she hasn't written a check in 6 months, I would look at her checks. I would see like, okay, she does childcare once a month.
Right.
It's a pattern. Like you got to investigate. And I feel like a significant other like that would. She'd be like, fuck the llamas or the goats or whatever. Show me.
Yeah.
Show me how you do get it. Where's your car? Oh, that's your car? Okay. These cars are not similar. So now what's your excuse?
Yep.
I would think they would be on that shit.
I would think so too. And I would think that maybe he also mentioned that he moved from one car to another to his new car.
Yeah.
So I'm like, was the checkbook in there in the last car?
Right.
Were they together when he had the last car and he thought he got rid of all her things? Like they had a falling out, kind of like you're insinuating here. Like maybe, just maybe they hadn't been with each other in a while.
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't she need her checkbook?
Right.
If there's a pattern, an established pattern. Mm-hmm. What, all of a sudden she's Apple paying for childcare if she's fucking hummering?
Hummer coin.
don't even know our own inside
Humming?
jokes. She's humming.
She's humming. Yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden she realized, oh, I don't have to write checks for everything anymore.
Right.
There's Venmo. What is that? Yeah. That's a very good point. I would do, if I were his wife, I'd be like, when did you make the switch from the old car to the new car?
Yeah.
And just start piecing things together. Because this all just seems to have been glossed over very quickly. And now he's introducing his family.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do? Start coming to each other's Thanksgiving? Like, it just seems a little bit weird to me.
Why?
Huh.
They're going to start having Christmas together. Yeah. This is all it's like, and I think this is what he wants, I think he wants us all to just be like, oh no, okay, no big deal.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking again and you go, but what if?
This is the kind of thing that initially you're like, that's who cares, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night going, it doesn't make sense.
Well, that's going to be his wife, unfortunately, too. She's just going to be up. Oh, his poor wife. She's probably, and she's just not. I mean, they're going to need a little bit of therapy around this.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to come with the receipts.
And I have a feeling that if she hasn't snapped already, his wife, if she's keeping it calm and cool, I feel like it's going to bubble up.
Yeah.
And one day she's going to snap. It'll be at the kid's birthday party, right? They will have brought Jessica in to bring her goats. So it's like a little petting zoo. And his wife will be like cleaning up something, right? And she'll bump into somebody, spill the plates. They'll crash on the ground. Then she'll have to sweep it up. He comes around the corner. He's super happy. And then she throws everything in the trash and she does that thing where both hands are on the counter and she's got her head down, slumped over away from him. And then she snaps. It happens.
Yeah.
How the fuck did that checkbook get it?
Right?
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
And he'll go, whoa, it's been 5 years. What do you?
And I love that you did the time jump too, because that's exactly what I was thinking. It's going to be like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be in 5 years. Or it's going to be like in 5 years and like she's finally comfortable with Jessica integrating in some ways, doing the kid's birthday party with the goats and the petting zoo. And she's finally going to go, you know what? I think I finally 100% feel comfortable and believe that nothing happened. And then right then she's going to go to the bathroom and there's going to be him and Jessica.
Oh, yep.
And they're going to,
And the
doing
goats.
just some sort of cunnilingus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, you're right. I'm just waiting for Elizabeth Banks to make a movie about this now.
Cocaine teacher.
Checkbook bear.
Cocaine teacher goat. Jessica. Fucking whatever.
It'll probably
Divorce.
just be called Check.
Yeah, check. Check. Just like that one movie. Wasn't there a movie that came out called Plane or something?
Oh,
God.
yeah. I want to see it. The concept seems kind of cool, but the title's just kind of. I've yet to meet one person that thinks that that's a good title for them.
No.
Plane.
I think we need to also do maybe an episode about titles of movies, but that's a different episode.
It's a different episode. We also need to do one about just remakes of TV shows.
Yeah, just that too.
So we had a listener, Logan. Shout out, Logan.
Shout out.
Mentioned, and that was something we totally glossed over. Like, so many TV shows are being rebooted and remade and revamped.
Yes.
It's a whole other episode.
Oh, God damn it, man. They're going to do Breaking Bad.
No, they can't.
Nah.
They better not. Oh, they'll probably do something stupid like an animated series. That's just, they will.
They should do it anime. Like, just
Anime,
straight
yeah.
anime.
Yeah.
Like Breaking Bad anime. They
Yeah.
should do it. I'd actually watch that. I'd watch the fuck out of it. So what do we think? Do we think she did? Do we think he did it?
I'm like, because for real, I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
Trying to come to the table with an actual answer.
Yeah.
And I still don't have one.
It's tough.
If they're not cheating and they really have never met each other before in their lives,
Right.
I don't know how that checkbook gets into his center console.
Yeah.
In that it's an intimate spot
Right.
that he never goes into. He never looks.
Never ever since he moved it from the car to the car.
Yeah. Why? How? Why? How?
Why? How?
This mystery is not solved, but they're acting like it is. Like, oh, it's all good. We returned the checkbook. That wasn't the problem, Dave.
Right.
Or whatever the teacher's name is. That was not the issue at hand.
As the kids say, the math ain't mathing.
Exactly.
The
Make
math
it
ain't
make
mathing.
sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
I think I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say he wasn't cheating, but I'm going to say he's thinking about it now. No, I'm just kidding. Now he's like, whoa, hold on. I didn't think of that.
Now, wait a minute.
He's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I've been too busy teaching and being a dad.
Right.
I forgot you could do that. Yeah, he's probably just like, and now, yeah, he probably went over there and he was just like, oh, I didn't realize I was attracted to goat farmers. Fuck.
Yeah, right.
Now I am going to cheat with
Only
Jessica.
goats.
Oh, yeah, the goats. He's
Only goats.
I didn't know I liked goats.
Yeah.
I hope he does. I hope he has like a deep, dark secret that traumatizes his kids forever. I hope something comes out one day and it's just like, no, like he was actually like sex trafficking the goats with Jessica.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then the wife's like, damn, I wish it was the affair.
Right. I wish it was the affair.
I really don't. I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like part of me, I want to say 60% of me believes it's not an affair.
Yeah.
But the other 40% of me thinks that it is something else going on. That it's not just a little, well, that was weird, huh? Like there's something.
There's something.
Maybe it's because I just want that entertaining drama.
Of course.
Right? That trashy part of me just wants there to be some drama to watch. But it's not lining up to be anything other than some kind of ruse. Either a cover-up,
right?
Some kind of game to go viral, to get followers and shit. Like,
right.
But I don't know. I want to know what the people at home think.
Me too.
Do you think he was cheating?
Yeah.
Do you think this was some kind of like game to get followers to go viral? Do you think I don't know what that's what I want to know. I want to know what you think, because this is like a weird story.
This is a very weird story.
Yeah. It's got a lot of moving pieces and they don't seem to align.
Yeah, this is the one. And you know what? I think like, you just got to use your intuition here. And it's one of those where if it's not going to let you go, you got to ask yourself why.
Yeah, right. Why
am I thinking about this still? I should have been moved on by now.
Yeah.
You're doing you're up in the morning, you're making your bed, you're brushing your teeth, and you're like, I'm still.
Yeah.
I just can't get this out of my head.
It starts causing a disrupt in my life.
You drive out to Colorado.
Yeah. The other thing too is like, if he was doing this for traction,
right,
he's going to find very quickly that his other videos probably aren't doing that great.
No.
In fact, let me see what he's gotten since.
Yeah, his teaching and dad content.
Yeah, the teaching and dad. So there's been a drastic drop off.
Right.
Since then. I mean, not even 3 videos later, he's back to under 10K views. I'm curious. Let me go look at hers, because
let's look at hers.
I wonder if she's posted any pieces that we might have missed from his side of the story.
Right.
If your name's Jessica and you live in northern Colorado, I need.
No, what's her name?
And maybe this does seem a little attention seeky. I'm not gonna lie. Now that you just started that other video, I was like, oh, this guy.
So she has that video. This is the one that's right after.
Hey, thought I'd answer a couple of questions that came up with Checkbook.
Oh, here we go. Good.
Oh, this is good.
She's answering questions about the checkbook. This is perfect. This is what we need.
Hey, thought I'd answer a couple of questions that came up with Checkbook Gate. First one is why I still have checks. I write checks for my kids' daycare. Also, a lot of farm stuff is cash or check only. 2, about the address on the checks. It's my old address from about 10 years ago when I lived further up north in Colorado, about 25 miles from here. So the current address that I live at was not on those checks. 3rd, how did I not know the checkbook was missing? You guys have no idea how often I lose shit. All the time. And so I probably just grabbed another checkbook when I couldn't find that one the next time I had to write a check.
Yeah.
You also want to know if I was having an affair? Absolutely not. My husband is 11 out of 10. I way outkicked my coverage on that one. Definitely wouldn't mess that up. And yeah, mostly people just want to know about goats, and that's my favorite topic. Hey, thought I'd answer.
Huh. And right after that, it's back to goat stuff.
Yeah. I just now that I seen, that, it's just like there's no way she would sleep with that other guy. There's no way. Like she's like a farmer. She's like she has a fucking hockey team beanie on. She smokes fucking mad weed, she smokes like hella weed.
You can see it in her eyes in that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's just like some Colorado chick, pretty cool ass, she like she loves acid probably. She goes to Red Rocks. Like she's dope as fuck. And like that guy, like there's no way on God's green earth.
Yeah.
Unless
opposites attract.
It could be they were both looking for, but I feel like her husband's probably like cool as shit too. He's probably like, damn, cuts wood.
He probably snowboards a lot.
They snowboard so much, those two.
Yeah.
So much.
Oh man.
They're always snowboarding.
He says words like gnar.
He's the guy who says gnar.
Yeah.
That's her husband.
So if they're not sleeping together. I mean, okay, so does that mean that she went and got new checks?
Yeah.
Because she said her response for how'd you not know it was missing was, I lose shit all the time.
Right.
So have you not written a check in 6 months?
Right.
For the farm and for your kids? Or did you just get new checks and call it a lost cause?
Yeah. Huh. Maybe he was like, maybe the guy, maybe he was trying to break bad himself. Maybe he was like, I know like these two people, these parents at my kid's school, I know they grow hella weed.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm trying to like get in on that. Like, how can I get in on that? Because he's like, they grow hella weed and that's legal. But he's like, I know on the other hand, though, you guys are still at Grateful Dead shows handing out sheets of acid.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's where I'm trying to get in.
Yeah.
And like they sat in the car, they talked, they almost had a deal. And then he said some stupid ass shit that she was like, nah, bro, you're a narc.
Yeah. And
then like left. Could be.
At this point, I think any of the other theories we've said sound more plausible than anything else.
So
I don't know. I don't know. We may never know the answer.
Oh, we may never know.
So, I don't know.
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was very fun.
I like a good mystery.
I need to, if I ever come across things like that, I'm going to make sure I remember them. I mean, you know what I'm going to fucking do? I'm going to send them to you.
Yeah.
So that you'll remember that it's fun and funny and we should talk about it.
Definitely. That's actually, that's smart.
I'm going to do that.
Because then I can archive it easier to play here on the show.
Even better.
I
love it.
So definitely, do the weekly thing.
Yeah.
Liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, DMing. Tell us what you think.
Do all that.
We're going to post a story. I'm going to post a story about this and see what people who have listened to the episode actually think. You can vote on it.
Yeah.
So vote on that. DM us what you think. If you've followed the story, if you have any new details that we might have missed, definitely send them to us.
Please do.
We could do a little follow-up something, but
yeah.
Until the next mystery, unsolved mystery.
Redband unsolved mystery.
Redband unsolved mystery on the scene. We will see you all next week.